Thousands of Americans are now out of work and the cuts are still coming. A federal judge is allowing President Trump's mass layoffs to press forward while legal proceedings continue. More than 6,000 people working at the Internal Revenue Service were set to be let go before the week's end. The layoffs come in the middle of tax filing period, but an email sent to IRS managers and obtained by CBS News says the employees terminated were not deemed as critical to the filing season. Now the president is reportedly considering a move to take over the U.S. Postal Service and absorb the independent mail agency into his administration. Elon Musk celebrated the cost cutting yesterday at the Conservative Political Action Conference by raising a chainsaw. His Department of Government Efficiency office has helped axe at least 12,000 jobs so far in the first month of President Trump's second term. Musk says additional cuts are expected across parts of government in the days and weeks ahead. Let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman. Willie, our CBS News data team found more than 500,000 federal workers have less than 2 years on the job and could be considered probationary. We know that probationary workers have been on the chopping block, but the administration can only use the reasoning of misconduct or poor performance to fire them. So is that going to be problematic for DOJ to continue with these cuts, and what agencies could be next?
Hey there, Lindsay. Good to be with you this afternoon. The White House is saying that this is part of a downsizing effort. In fact, Kevin Hassett, the top economic advisor to the president, essentially was asked about these probationary employees by our own Nancy Cordes, and he essentially said that he hasn't really seen a probationary employee talk about how their performance was good, even if their performance had been bad and they had been let go. So one of the reasonings behind this, in part, is to not only downsize the federal government, but Hassett noted that really these employees haven't been at full performance. Either they're not showing up to these abandoned buildings that Trump has talked about, and other officials have been talking about, essentially that these buildings aren't full with these workers. And the White House continuing with this push. As you mentioned, some 6,000 IRS employees. The administration says that these employees aren't necessarily those employees that are processing the tax returns. They're not mission critical to filing those taxes or receiving those tax returns from millions of Americans across this country. But still, nonetheless, they're pushing forward with this, not necessarily waiting for the courts to weigh in, although we could potentially see some pushback, some legal pushback from some of these employees filing challenges to their firings, Lindsay.
Willie, on Capitol Hill, we have the Senate adopting their own GOP budget plan. The president has endorsed the House GOP budget plan. How are they different, and is the president reacting to what the Senate did last night?
Yeah, we were talking about this, if not, I'm not mistaken, a day or so ago. And really, this development is moving quite fast with the Senate passing its legislation, largely based on the president's priorities, pumping money into the Department of Homeland Security to push back against illegal migration. That's a major priority for the president. But also on the House side, you have some cuts. Now, that bill isn't going to be voted on until next week. Some cuts that would largely target Medicaid. About $800 or so million. Now, this is a multi-billion-dollar program, and the president said earlier in the week that Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare would not be touched in a Fox News interview. But as you mentioned, he did endorse this House plan, so it's unclear what will happen there. Both sides have to come together to eventually come to some type of consensus to move that legislation forward to push forward the president's agenda. So not a done deal quite yet, but still nonetheless a significant step in moving that process forward, with the Senate voting on its priorities with that legislation, Lindsay.
Willie James Inman, thank you.